Hello, welcome to the Watch Spot. Right here on Jam on Toast, I'm Kamurai, and we're going to talk about movies and stuff, and things I've been watching. Yay, stuff. Get that there. I don't do movies. I watched a lot of movies the past couple days. I've been kind of not feeling well. I'm up late because I wanted to get this done on Wednesday. It's not Wednesday anymore, but hell, I'm going to get it done, and I've been fighting an earache, so bear with me if I'm making weird faces during this more than usual. Two movies I did not talk about in the past I meant to talk about in the past: A Million Ways to Die in the West and American Hustle. Uh, let's start on A Million Ways to Die in the West. I was all excited because Ralph Garman's in it for however long he's in it for, and there's all these like weird guest cameo appearances, and I actually liked the teddy bear movie Ted. So I was really excited to see the dude from Family Guy, I cannot remember his name all of a sudden, do another feature film. And yeah, no, that character was so horribly written. He just sounded so wrong for it. He sounded like a New York City guy that had come to the West, and like he was the only sensible character, which made him out of place in all these out of place characters, which just ruined the meta for me. It just didn't have any jokes. Like the funniest bit was Sarah Silverman and the really funny guy who plays Phoebe's brother on Friends. God damn it! I told myself I'd remember his name, and I can't. It's very hard for me to remember his name, but he's a really funny actor. He's a really good guy in the movies and TV and such, and I enjoy watching him. I just one of those guys. Yeah, but I'd give Million Ways to Die in the West a miss if you can. You saw most of the funny bits in the trailer, and it's just not worth your time. Let's just say that and move on. American Hustle. I forgot to mention this somehow. It's a con movie. It's a long con movie with, oh my God, people, great actors and actresses. Was it Bradley Cooper? I think he's one of the guys. And Amy Adams. And Amy Adams totally steals the show. It's not the best movie, but it's by all means worth every second of your time that you spend watching this movie. It's great. And I gotta say, Amy Adams really works the sexy. Like, it's part of her character, but like, she's a mom, she's older. It's good to know, and I'm sure it's a confidence boost to her that she can still bring it. But God, do they overplay that? Now I take it back. They play that card throughout most of the movie, but I don't think they ever actually overplay it. Or maybe I'm just one of the guys that can't get enough of that. But that's good. It's there. It's not the point of the movie, though. Past a point, it's definitely part of her character and drives the plot a lot that she is being how she is. So I will say that, and I don't want to spoil a lot of it because it is a con movie, which means there are some twists, meaning that, hey, you're not going to be able to know everything right off the bat. But it kind of reminds me of Lucky Number 11 and Smoking Aces. But a much more subtle version when I think back on those other movies. Moving on to movies I've seen more recently. I'm sure I've seen more. I'm going to finish up on a bigger one. But these are the ones that I can remember or I wrote down at least. Cube. I finally saw Cube. As far as I'm concerned, apparently classic horror movie. I'm going to fix my eye while I talk. I've been told for years I should see this movie, and I finally did in a haze and crazy mindset for it. But fantastic. And I knew there was some kind of weird twist. I knew at least one of the characters helped design the damn thing, and I was really, really expecting like this very specific twist that I never got. But it is one of those movies that will leave you kind of surprised at the ending, especially in a day and age when we're used to happy endings. But this is a horror survival movie, and some people don't survive. So it's going to be one of those movies that you're probably not going to have the best feeling about. My problem with it, and I'll spoil this right off the bat, is that they don't ever actually explain anything, and that's something that's started to bother me with movies, is that they're not getting enough exposition, which is a really weird problem to have. I don't understand what's happening with the movie. They don't explain anything. It's God, how do I say it? It leaves me hanging, like, because I want to know things. I want to know more about the universe and everything. And yeah, fine, they ruined Star Wars by over-explaining things, the dechlorians, etc. But when you don't explain enough, it makes me feel like you just ended the movie. It's frustrating, especially when you had a really good time with it. Like, you have this great experience, and it's bothersome that they don't finish. It almost makes it feel like they're being lazy about it, but I don't know. I don't know what to say for it. So the next one on my list, Devil's Due. It's one of those movies. A couple gets married, goes on the honeymoon. Like you do, you get kidnapped by a cult and forced to be impregnated with Satan's spawn. The thing I like about this movie, especially, even though it's the normal, fair crazy. I recognize the chick from somewhere, but I can't place it right now. The guy's really good too. He really commits to being the supporting husband type, even with all the weird stuff going on. And it's all filmed from like cameras, like security cameras, handy cams and stuff. So if that bothers you, don't watch it. But it is a pretty interesting movie. It's like a good version of Paranormal Activity to me, with an actual plot and everything, and a potential for a sequel. Because I'll go ahead and ruin this part because it's not integral to the plot. It's literally like they finished the movie and then they added 30 seconds to 2 minutes, something like that. Like, apparently the guys who go around and kidnap people like that, they do it all over the place. So this is not like a one-time thing. It's not really like Satan's spawn. It's demon. To me, it feels like they're helping demons out of hell. Is essentially what it is. So maybe it's already people or demons that are out and about in the world going around and getting more demons out. But they don't explain. So enough said. Any movie that has the guy from the bloody Sopranos, I can remember his name all day long, and then when I get to the hero, I can't. Great actor. Great actor. I'm not going to go over. A great actor. I love almost everything he's in. He really owns it in this. And then I think it's the lady from Seinfeld. She's pretty funny too. Let's see. Is it Tay Leone? No. The girl who plays the ex-wife is notable too, and some of the friends you might recognize here and there. A whole bunch of like funny type people, and it's all about single parents dating, and like what it is to be married and divorced, still see your ex, and maintain those relationships with the fathers and mothers of your children, etc. It's a good movie. It's not fantastic. I think if you have anything you can relate to what I just said, definitely worth your time. As someone who is single without kids, I definitely found value in it. But I can't say that it's going to be a movie that's for everyone. Very much so that it's going to be a movie that is have a very particular audience. But it's, I don't know how to say it. Man, I should have done this late. Forgive me. But it's definitely a funny movie. There's moments, if you have kids, you were a kid, you were a teenager, you have a mom, you have a dad, like you'll notice, you'll recognize parts, you'll relate to bits and pieces of it, and hopefully you can recognize it as as what it is, which is like this serious storyline with some very funny lines and plots worked in. I got a little bit of beef here. Like, I'm not saying it was a bad movie, but it was not a fucking award winner like everyone said it was. And I'm kind of upset that I watched this and I didn't feel like how everyone said they fucking feel. The Grand Budapest Hotel, great movie. I'm not saying it's not, but it's not the end-all best movie of the year, whatever. Like, it's one of those that's a story and a story. So when you look at like classical rubrics for what makes a great movie, a great show, a great production, yes, you have that nod to Shakespeare. It's like, oh, let me tell you, like, you're now watching a movie. Let me be a guy in a movie telling you a story in the movie about the same characters that we're dealing with. So like you've got that meta going on, and that's nice and all, but it's got to work for the story. And I'm not saying this doesn't, but it's just, I think that maybe took some precedent where it wasn't necessary. I mean, the main concierge was notable. I actually recognized the Indian guy's girlfriend, the lady with the birthmark on her face. She was in the was it The Perfect Host? No, The Host. Amongst a bunch of other things. I believe she is a Scottish actress. She has a Scottish accent in this movie. And it's a beautiful accent. Like, I could definitely relate to that appeal. But she was the best part of the movie to me, and that's never a good sign when the cute girl is the best part of the movie for the chief reasons of her being cute. And she is a good actress. They all did a good job. The movie, the story just didn't sell to me. And if it had been the Indian kid's story about a story of love and passion and all that, it would have been better. But it was the concierge story is what it felt like. And there wasn't a lot of value to his story other than what he meant to the kid, which means it would have been better from the kid's perspective, or would have been better as the kid's story. The lobby boy. That definitely would have been it. Let's see. Maybe I was just in a mood, but there are a couple of these movies that were just fucking boring. The Impossible. If you ever seen a documentary about tsunamis, imagine that, but we're going to put in like an upper-class white family that you're going to pay attention to and care about because you're white too, probably, or American at least. So it's someone who matters in the middle of this tragedy, and that's what we're focusing on. No. So not only was it boring, tragic, very tragic, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it wasn't, but it was boring, and we had to sympathize with characters that we had no reason to sympathize with, especially given the scenario. And like, fuck, I mean, people were ripped apart. Yep, the entire island was ripped apart. Don't do that. So I didn't really appreciate that one. Let's see. In the Blood was boring, but there was at least some good action to it. It was all about this honeymoon. This couple gets married and goes to like Mexico. While they're there, her husband falls off a zip line and gets kidnapped. And so she starts tracking him down. She has to deal with dirty cops and gangsters, and she was trained by her father for fucking knows why. But she's the girl that doesn't cry, and like she's so in love with her husband that she cries. She throws the money that his family would owe her back in their faces. She like assaults a cop and swims back to Mexico, or not Mexico. It's an island off of Puerto Rico. I apologize. But like they just can't get rid of her. She is refusing to go. But even with like as badass as she is, she didn't get the help she got. She never would have got as far as she did. And it's a real interesting movie. If you like action or you just like seeing chicks beat up guys, watch this. It's definitely worth the watch. But other than the action, it's not super interesting because she's not a very good detective. She's very good at like 3 lines of logic, and there's not much help else in the movie for that. Let's see. Let's move on. Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan was the other fucking boring one. Oh my gosh. Let's take Kirk, make him a Marine, cripple him, give him a hot British actress, Keira Knightley, as his girlfriend, but make her have an American accent. I'm not saying it's a bad American accent. I'm just saying it does not sound nearly as good as her natural British accent. She definitely should have kept that for the movie, I think. Because that kind of bothered me. But then, like, it's all about him, like, finding these fucking files and shit. Even when he's getting shot at and he has fights, it's like, oh, well, this is different. And then we're back to boring stuff. Because it's all about how Russia's going to cause another Great Depression in America and cause an economic collapse and win the economic war. It's just money, 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 money. So unless you're fucking like a stockbroker or an accountant, I mean, I don't see what's good for them. Glad they have a movie like that. I just don't like that I wasted my time watching it. Moving on, Mortal Instruments. It's a movie about demon hunters, and it's one of those movies like, I thought the world was normal. Oh no, there's werewolves and demons and such. Oh my. And I'm one of them. Oh! Girl finds out she's a demon hunter, or by blood at least. And that like her parents were certain characters. It's people trying to capitalize on Harry Potter even though it's over. But this was actually a pretty good attempt. It's much better than the Twilight attempt. There was that one series where like it was like witches or something. It was all about sheer choosing the light or the dark, and there was a whole happy family of light and dark people, but for whatever reason she had to choose, and it was part of the prophecy. And I can't remember that one. It was very convoluted. But this was actually pretty good. It's lots of good action, lots of good effects, super well produced. The demons especially were really interesting because they were shape-shifting. They would actually like fly around as a murder of crows, and then they would like crash into the ground and build, and then they would like reach out, and they didn't have to move like they had bones. They would just flip over themselves to stretch whatever the next nearest body part was to where they were going. And they would like grab people and drag them into shadows and disappear and shit. It's fucking crazy. Oh man, really good movie. Looking back on it, not gonna win any awards, but definitely worth the watch. RoboCop. I thought this was actually a decent action movie. I don't remember the original. I'm not saying I didn't see it, and I don't remember it. So I don't have the nostalgia factor. Like I don't have the nostalgia factor in a lot of 80 movies. Fuck that shit. It's not me per se. Like maybe I was just too much of a 90s kid. But it was all right. It wasn't heartbreaking or earth-shattering or anywhere. Just kind of like, okay, yeah, that was a movie. It was worth my time. Super well produced. I especially liked the big robots. I liked the technology that they were talking about and they showed through the thing. I'm like, let's make that happen. Let's make that a thing. I hate fear-mongering of technology like that. And I think this movie is definitely in that category. But damn, was it cool technology. So, again, it's nice to see that technology, but it's a shame that we've got to be afraid of it. Vampire Academy. This was another kind of weird Harry Potter attempt, I think. Because, like, the main character is not the vampire, but the vampire is the special one, but they're linked, and she's her protector. So she's the day-walking Dampier or whatever. They changed the rules a lot for this movie because there's typical vampires and then there's crazed vampires or like soulless ones or whatever. Those are the ones that have actually killed, and then there's the half vampires or whatever that serve as protectors and guardians and such. But Oh yeah. But let's see. The skinny one. Yeah, skinny is the right word. Not thin. The older sister from the Dumfies in Modern Family. She's in it, which I thought was interesting. So definitely had me excited to watch it. Turns out she plays like a nerd girl. It's like they told her to be Alex. That's why my framing's off. They told her to be Alex Dunphy instead of her character. I can't remember her character's name. Which is, I just think is funny. But also in vampires, I watched Morganville. It was on the Geek and Sundry YouTube channel. Wonderfully acted. I liked every person I saw in there, even the evil bitch people. I thought it was really well done, really well acted. I think the writing for that was pretty horrible, though. I don't like the world. I don't like the premises of this one town being ran by vampires. How is it surviving in a world of not vampires? It would have to mean that there's a vampire hierarchy and system in all these other towns and everything. Otherwise, like, the state would have investigated this shit by now. There's no way you keep that quiet for as long as they're talking about doing. It's a lot. It breaks your deniability. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, okay. So we'll do this. So plausibility. I don't remember. But it's the thing that you say that means like, hey, you can actually believe this. Suspension of disbelief. There we go. Well, that's good. I can't talk about that yet. So it's good to see that things are showing up. But I mean, that was like Halloween on Geek and Sundry. So I mean, it's just what it is. I finally got around to watching it just because get your tail on my video. It is what it is. What it is. Let's see. Looking at. Oh, I will finish up movies here. I also watched The Interview, the thing that got hacked from Sony, the thing that caused the shout heard around the world. It's a fucking movie. If anything, we should have been the ones preventing this from getting out because it shows fucking like security breaches. Like, it's actually a plot we could implement. Because things like that have happened. I think Charles Barkley goes over there for like 2 months out of the year or something. Like, fucking ridiculous things. Like, you could do something like a ricing strip. You could do so many silly things. And I'm sure their security is probably better than portrayed. And you don't need the revolution. You don't need to steal the tank. There's tiny ways. We could probably just kill them, honestly, if we really wanted to. I'm sure we've got satellites and drones in position to go and get them. I don't think it would be far-fetched to take a high-altitude drone with a sniper rifle attached and make the shot from like several miles away, because the higher up you are, the less force you actually have to put into the shot for it to travel further. So we got to hurry up with this. So I think it's a silly movie. It's a silly movie, which is, I mean, it's funny. Don't get me wrong, but if you like anything that James Franco or Seth Rogen does, you'll like this. The guy who plays Kim Jong-un was actually pretty good as well. And I can't believe Lizzie Kaplan does not get mentioned at all. She's probably the funniest one in that, to me anyways. Maybe I just like her more than the other two in general, not in a like have sex with way. Because let me say, it's Seth Rogen. Sexy like bear. That was probably the best line in the movie, though. The girl who plays Sook. Sexy like bear. Okay, so in the world of TV and whatnot, I hate who does this, that I can't see everything at once. Supernatural. I watched Well, last week and this week, I haven't talked about either one of them. So last week, it was all about Crowley and his mom fucking with him, trying to take over Position Hell. They got the first blade back, and Crowley's keeping track of it. And she tried to steal it, but he caught her, and she made up all this crap. But everyone else was dead, so he can't disprove any of it. And he's having mommy issues like crazy. So I was really looking forward to that storyline. This week, got none of that. None of that. It was all about Charlie, Felicia Day coming up and being all gay. I don't know. Not as much as she usually was, because they were doing this weird thing. And I want to see a mini-series with Felicia Day going to Oz. Like, I want to see Charlie in Oz. That's what I want to see. But the way they did it is apparently Charlie had split herself in twain, so evil ninja Charlie's running around and killing people, while good Charlie's like following her, watching helplessly. And good Charlie tries to help out Dean and Sam get bad Charlie. It's very weird to talk about, but it makes perfect sense when you watch it. Honestly, as weird and wacky as that show is with some of the shit they pull, totally sensible episode. I'll be perfectly honest. It really was. Let's see here. Why did that shift? I talked about that episode of Castle before. The 100. I really like this show, even if I don't recognize anybody legitimately. Like, I thought I did. I looked at some of these people, and I don't really recognize anybody. But I really like the commander. Clark's starting to grow on me. Her mom's kind of stupid. Smart doctor, just dumb. I really like the whole plot thing with Finn. I don't like that he murdered all the children, but I like that what they did with it past that point. And we're finally at the point where we can get to the meat and potatoes. The two factions are united, or whatever, the Sky People and the Pluck clan. And then the 47 or whatever, 46 that are left are fighting from within to signal out or help out wherever they can. And honestly, I'm getting excited. I can't wait to see something actually happen from it, because it's kind of been like a big tease for a while now, and I'm ready for it to wrap up and start moving towards the end, especially seeing all these other seasons ending, because it seems like we're in this weird like month and a half period of season finales and shit, or mid-season finales, depending upon whether or not they run a double season or not, or whatever you want to call it. Let's see. A to Z apparently had their season finale because they were canceled, and then they weren't canceled. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the show, but they got all the way to M for meant to be, and then they just stopped it. It doesn't mean that like it's over. It just means that like that's where they stopped. So hopefully, fucking NBC will get their shit together. They won't, or somebody else will opt it. Like that would be best. CBS got it and finished it out. Because this is totally CBS's thing. Like, this is the type of show that would show up on CBS. It's not a show I would currently associate with NBC. I don't know what their problem is. They got rid of Go On. They let Whitney stop. They got rid of Revolution. Like, if it's not NCIS, I don't think they care. Like, they want their hour-long dramas. I guess they're competing with TNT. I don't know. Not my friends anymore, NBC. They're just not. But A to Z was amazing. I can't believe it got canceled. The Flash. I watched one last weekend this week. Sleepy Hollow. Stop messing with me. Maybe I'll go back and watch that, but I'm not going to start in like the end of season 2. I don't know why Hulu does this shit. So let's reload. The Flash. So last week was the Fire and Ice episode. I don't know. Like, DC is a very particular universe where you have superheroes and then you have heroes with gadgets. Like Batman is a hero with gadgets, but also lots of training. So when you have heroes that just have gadgets and not really any training, it's like, well, yeah, sure, take your toys away, it'll be fine. And then sometimes they're really smart. So that's what happened last week with Cold. him and Fireboy were running around fucking everything up, and Flash had to like sacrifice himself to cross the streams, which is really silly. You could just taken the guns away from him, honestly. There's about a dozen different ways you can do that. And then this week is the Sound Hands guy. The DC is moving the stories along. They're covering bases. They're doing a better job with doing good comic book TV. But the problem is they're not doing comic books on TV. They're doing TV comic books. Sorry, they're doing TV shows based on comic books when they need to be doing comic book TV. And they're wrapping people up. They're killing people off. Really. They're killing people off. They're eliminating story where the comic book universe is notable and beautiful because it doesn't do that. So honestly, they're painting themselves into corners, which especially with the way they changed everything with Black Canary. And I know somebody had this fucking boner to have it switch from Sarah to Laurel, and I just no. If maybe like Mom had been the original Black Canary, I could go with it, but it seems silly to go younger sister, older sister, and not have the superpower be involved. Because Canary could scream, essentially. She was like a poor man's banshee. But that was not her first move most of the time. She kicked a lot of ass. And I like the It's pretty. Oh yeah, so I unintentionally segued. So in Arrow, like that's kind of what they're focusing on. They're focusing on the girls, which is fine. Felicity's getting a lot of screen time because she's this fucking invention that they have to use, which is annoying. I almost wish Barbara Gordon had come down in a wheelchair instead of them inventing Felicity. Though I do really like the actress who plays Felicity. She does an excellent job with the character. They're doing a lot of good things with the character. It's just the invention of the characters what bothers me, not the application thereof. But I want to see her get some smooches, honestly. She's the character that I'm like, let that girl get some. We're going to save that. I think I can talk about that one, though. Sorry, checking. Yes. So the Tribunal. The last episode of Grimm really left me hanging because I was like, "What's happening? I want to know. I want to finish this." We've got to the last episode of the season. Dude still doesn't know his wife's the Hexen Beast. Spoilers, I guess, because it's not the point of the episode at all. The whole thing is with the Wessenrhein, the Fifth Reich, apparently. Talking all the German and like weird symbols, it might as well be a Nazi party. That's what they are. They're Nazi Wesen, or the Ku Klux Klan of Wesen, and they go take them all on. And I'll say that I won't say what the exact result is because it's a lot of potential for different people to die, given everyone who gets involved. The thing that I will say, out of the people who survive, I do not like the idea of sending people like that involved to prison, eliminate them, have it be a murder-suicide cult, whatever you want to call it. But sending them to prison to rally is not a good idea. No one's going to go to prison and be like, oh, I'm so sorry that I done did that. I deserve to be here. They're going to be like, those bastards, impuro. I'm going to find more followers, and when we get out of here, we're going to come back for your ass. That's what's going to happen. As a former correctional officer, I'm going to tell you that's what some of those fuckers would talk like, and it's like, okay, you're going to go back to your cell now. So I'm going to wait and come back to that. Another show that had its season finale, I think it was the season finale for Grimm, I can't say for sure, was Gallivant. And then I'll circle back around some of these. Gallivant is a weird one. I think it got canceled, but I think they filmed all of it before they decided to cancel it because they started releasing it like 2 episodes a week to meet this deadline for this past week. And the 2 shows a week, like, I don't know, like, it's great. It's a really funny show. It's musical, but like they make a joke out of the characters getting tired of it being of there being singing. It's super self-aware, and right every time that the show gets just a little stale, they mix it up. They do something unexpected, even if it doesn't make any sense. Like the thing with the king, like when he found out the jester was fucking his wife, he didn't kill the jester. He was like, "Teach me how to be funny." I would have tried to woo her because he wanted to make a game of it. And like as soon as like he thought he had the upper hand finally, like the queen pulls one out from under him, and then now that we're at the end of the season, I don't want to give the whole show away because it's worth watching to find out. But we completely Kansas City shuffle all the characters around, and you don't know. If you haven't watched, you don't know how this is going to end up because it's all crazy. But it's totally worth finding out. Go watch Gallivant on Hulu if you have that available. Let's see here. Just a couple more. Family Guy. You know what? I don't remember. There's a lot of Family Guy, and like, I remember Stewie and Brian were gonna have a threesome with some chick that ODs, and then they have to kill her, or not kill her, but dispose of the body, because Stewie wants to be on a life of self-discovery or some such nonsense. Oh yeah, then Meg gets into foot porn. Joe's foot gets pregnant. I'll let you fill in the pieces because that's usually about as much plot as Family Guy gets for you. I gotta wrap this up. It's killing me. Mulaney was a weird episode. It was super episodic. It was all about them using power moves on each other. Martin Short's character using power moves on this director to let him get apart, and then Mulaney using it on his housemates using it on him, and a lot of nonsense when, like, the right option would have been for us all to be decent people and just work together to achieve our goals and such, especially in a situation like roommates. But instead, we all just go back to normal, and Mulaney becomes a bitch and potentially arrested for impersonating a psycho killer. You'll see it. It'll show up. So Mulaney's another. It's remains a weird show thus far. I'm really hoping if that wasn't the season finale, which I hope it wasn't. I really hope that it swings up here very, very soon. What is swinging up? I'll do that other one last. What is swinging up is Marvel's Agent Carter. We finally get to see, and if you just go and look at the episode, you'll see his face on it. We finally get to see Anthony Stark? Howard Stark come back into the picture in some very important shifts in what's happening in their world as far as getting Stark's inventions back and resolving the whole situation. It's very interesting. I can't wait to see where it goes. It's not an episode that I particularly find that intriguing. I was excited to see it once I realized what it was, but now I'm more excited about what it's going to cause. Like the same way that Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a shitty movie when you look at it by itself, but if they're idiots and they hang on to the franchise to keep it from Marvel, it will be a fantastic movie in relation to the Sinister Six plot line that they're pursuing. It's pivotal. And I hope that Marvel gets it and they continue on that plot line. Because they really can't do Civil War without Spider-Man. I don't know why they would try. The whole thing with them doing Civil War so soon has confused me, other than some businessman going, Civil War is popular. Bring me a whore. That's what all businessmen sound like. So yeah, so that's one I can't wait to see more of. I mean, we're only in episode 4, so it'll be super interesting. I don't know if I'm happy or sad to say that I'm back on the Glee train. I had no idea what was happening though, so I went back and watched the last episode of season 5 because it was still available. No real idea if I actually watched season 5 properly because I have no idea where Melissa Boyce's character, who's going to play the Supergirl on a new Supergirl TV series for DC television. But no, I'm super excited. Failed upward as far as I'm concerned. Because her character was written horribly, and she did such a good job with it. I think they were like, okay, we're going to take you away from this show because that character's garbage. Not garbage, but the character's written poorly because they misused her after a while. And we're going to give you a better show. So I'm real happy about that. But that made Glee all the more confusing because she was the center of the beginning of Glee season 4. I think through most of the 4th season. So, I'm sorry, in the 5th season, I remember her still being kind of the focus, the new Rachel Berry, if you will, in season 5. But like, it really feels like they gave up on making the show properly. Like, because when Rachel and her class went to college, it should have become 2 separate shows. It should become Glee, the high school musical, and Glee, the college musical, or university, whatever you want to call it, or come up with a completely different name, because it's not really Glee Club at that point. But they chose to keep them together, and to me, it was still 2 shows playing at the same time, which I was fine with. As you bounce back and forth, it's all in the same universe. Oh, God, but I don't know what happened. They gave up. They were like, this show is not going to be popular unless we use the characters that we used in the first 3 seasons. They should have just let them go. Let them go do their own things from now on and just go with new characters. It worked for Degrassi. It worked for Skins. It worked, no, not Shameless. Shameless is a bad example. I just don't get why you can't see the part that worked and keep that and then reinvent the rest of it. So yeah, I have no idea what's going on in the show. Like I seriously, I watched all season 6 that's available. No idea. I know Rachel has a failed TV show. I know the gay guys are no longer the gay couple because reasons, and everyone is not adjusting well to being grown-up adults. Whether or not they have to, which I think is a key statement there. Hulu reminded me I need to go back and catch up on Parenthood when I get a chance. It was a good show. Very dramatic, but it was a good show. Yeah, Glee, you're haunting me. Let's say that. All right, I'm tired, so I'm going to go. I know this has been an awkward one, but thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. I am Kamurai.